fellow tacticians, Connie here with a review of the highly anticipated Fire Emblem Awakening. For those unfamiliar with the Fire Emblem series, it's basically a turn-based strategy game. Always kind of a niche game, known for absolutely punishing difficulty and complex gameplay. This is the first entirely new game in the Fire Emblem repertoire since Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn back in 2007, so I wasn't really sure what to expect when I heard a new game was coming, but I have to say I was more than pleasantly surprised. I was absolutely stunned by how wonderful this game turned out to be. Fire Emblem Awakening is technically a direct sequel to the first and third Fire Emblem games, thousands of years in the future, inheriting a rich tapestry of mythos first laid down by Marth in what was released in the US as Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. It plays like a greatest hits album from the Fire Emblem series. Skills, a map, a marriage system all return to the stage, though some features are from games not released in the US. Old fans of the series will recognize old heroes from Fire Emblem lore peppered into the extensive DLC, most of which is slowly rolling out in the US. But DLC isn't the only way to play your favorite champions from the past. Spot Pass is a highly touted feature in this game, allowing you to recruit not only old characters, but also get new weapons and maps that allow you to recruit extra special characters not available in any other way. Furthermore, you can play dual battles with friends through multiplayer. However, it's not all roses and sunshine here. I will say that the DLC can make the game a whole lot easier, especially if you purchase the Gold or Experience maps. Fire Emblem is known for incredibly difficult gameplay, so take of it what you will. That being said, the game has multiple difficulty settings for those who are new to the series. The biggest difference is the ability to play on casual difficulty. Casual, as opposed to classic, means permadeath is off. That's right. Characters that die during your forays onto the battlefield can return in the next chapter. But most players I know prefer to leave permadeath on because it really does result in higher tension gameplay. The AI can range from ridiculously stupid to incredibly calculating. Unfortunately, it seems your AI allies are the dumb ones most of the time. The enemy AI will take absolutely any opportunity to jump onto an exposed character in their range, so carelessness will simply not do. Still, the choice definitely makes it easier for new players to pick up Fire Emblem. To help players get more personally involved in the plot of the game, you create your own unit, customizable down to their voice. Though he or she starts out as a tactician, you can reclass them to any playable class in the game available to their gender. And it isn't the only place they gave more freedom to the player. Radiant Dawn's biggest disappointment was the fact that they took out the detailed support conversations that allowed you to really get close to your characters in favor of having any character able to support one another. Well, now Awakening brings the best of both worlds. Almost all the characters can support each other and even get married if they're in the same generation. Their children, who you can recruit later, will inherit the last skill from both their father and mother. That means endless potential. A Pegasus Knight with lethality, an archer with Luna, a mage with soul. You can play over and over again and pair your characters in different ways to change the child's attributes. And their double up and pair up systems mean that you can fight with an adjacent character backing you up for the first time in series history. Occasionally, adjacent characters will guard one another or attack during the other's turn. This does unfortunately mean that players can turn one unit into an accessory for another, but smart players will avoid this to make the most out of the limited amount of characters you can bring into a chapter. Reclassing characters is also a possibility. You can switch your characters to some other classes, resetting their levels to 1. This feature, along with the map system returning from Sacred Stones, means that it's possible to have incredibly overpowered characters. Level 1 Pegasus Knight with 80 HP? Why not? But it does lower the difficulty of the game significantly because it means it's possible to level grind, at least on lower difficulties. Let's just say that Lunatic earns its name, and the unlockable Lunatic Plus mode should be called It Which Must Not Be Played. One of my biggest issues with the game is the lack of different objectives. Now there seem to be only 2, Route, which means murder everybody, or defeat Commander. I wish there was more variety, like the Escape, Protect, and Defend in older games. Also, the parent mechanism has entirely replaced the rescue mechanism, which can definitely make things harder to protect units if they're hit with an unexpected critical or something like that. But those are some of the only major flaws I found in the game. With that overview, let's move on to the score. Story is solid and definitely makes an effort to involve you and your avatar into the action. Definitely one of the better Fire Emblems as of late, but it doesn't do much to deviate from the usual formula and not much stands out. Story gets a 7. Presentation is incredible, with breathtaking pre-rendered cinematics and incredibly fun integration that pushes the 3DS as far as it'll go. This is the first Fire Emblem I've actually wanted to keep the attack animations on for. Presentation gets a 9. Gameplay is amazing, complex and deep, with the incredible support system adding not only layers of things to consider, but also bringing you closer and closer to your characters. Gameplay gets a 10. Design is great. Graphics and sound are definitely the best of the series, considering how well they integrate pair-up into the visuals of the battle scenes, but I have to fault the game on lack of different objectives. Design gets an 8. And what else can I say about replay value? The support system, your avatar, reclassing skills, multiple difficulty settings, DLC, spot pass, and multiplayer, all of these means it's almost impossible to play the game the same way twice. And it shows. I personally haven't been able to put it down. Replay value gets a 10. And so, with all of these things in mind, I give Fire Emblem Awakening a 9.5 out of 10. There are a few flaws in the game, but it's definitely one of the best games I've played in a long time, and in my opinion, absolutely worth a look.